ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो
भगवते
भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम
ओम
नमो
नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नारायणं
नारायणं
नमस्कृत्यं
नमस्कृत्यं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं
नरं
चैव
चैव
नरोत्तमं
नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं
देवीं सरस्वतीं
सरस्वतीं
व्यासं
व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
ततो
ततो
जयमुदीरये।
जयमुदीरये।
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु
भद्रेषु
भद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं
नित्यं
भागवते
भागवतसेवया।
सेवया।
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके
भगवती
भगवति
उत्तमश्लोके
उत्तमश्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
भक्तिर्भवति
भक्तिर्भवति
नैष्ठिकी।
नैष्ठिकी।
Reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, title Conclusion, the perfection of renunciation. And today's verse is verse number 44. Krishi Gorakshya Vanijyam
कृषि
कृषि
गोरक्षा
गोरक्षा
वाणिज्यं
वाणिज्यं
Vaishya Karma Swabhavajam
वैश्य
वैश्यकर्म
कर्म
स्वभावजं
स्वभावजं
Paricharyatmakam Karma
परिचर्यात्मकं
परिचर्यात्मकं
कर्म
कर्म
Shudrasyapi Swabhavajam
सुदर्श्यापि
शुद्रस्यापि
स्वभावजं
स्वभावजम्।
Krishi Gorakshya Vanijyam
कृषि
कृषि
गोरक्षा वाणिज्यं
गोरक्षवाणिज्यम्
Vaishya Karma Swabhavajam
वैश्य कर्म
वैश्यकर्म
स्वभावजं
स्वभावजम्।
Paricharyatmakam Karma
परिचर्यात्मकं
परिचर्यात्मकं
कर्म
कर्म
Sudrasyapi Swabhavajam.
शूद्रस्यापि
शुद्रस्यापि
स्वभावजं
स्वभावजम्।
Anyone would like to lead?
कृषि गोरक्षवाणिज्यम्
कृषि
Krishi Goraksha
गोरक्षवाणिज्यं
Vanijyam
गोरक्षवाणिज्यं
वैश्यकर्म स्वभावजम्।
Vaishya Karma
स्वभावजं
Swabhavajam
वैश्यकर्मस्वभावजं
परिचर्यात्मकं कर्म
परिचर्यात्मकं
Paricharyatmakam
कर्म
Karma
कर्म
शूद्रस्यापि स्वभावजम्।
शूद्रस्यापि
Sudraswapi Swabhavajam.
स्वभावजं
स्वभावजं
कृषि गोरक्षा वाणिज्यं
Krishi Goraksha Vanijyam
कृषिगोरक्षवाणिज्यं
वैश्यकर्म स्वभावजं
Vaishya
वैश्यकर्म
Karma
वैश्यकर्म
Swabhavajam
स्वभावजं
स्वभावजम्।
परिचर्यात्मकं कर्म
परिचर्यात्मकं
Paricharyatmakam
कर्म
कर्म
Karma
शूद्रस्यापि स्वभावजं
शूद्रस्यापि
Sudrasyapi
शूद्रस्यापि
Swabhavajam.
स्वभावजं
स्वभावजम्।
Thank you very much. Word by word meaning. Krishi, plowing.
कृषि प्लविंग
कृषि farming.
Go of cows.
go
गो
of
Go
ऑफ
of
काउस
cows
cow.
Raksha, protection.
रक्षा
रक्षा
प्रोटेक्शन
protection
Vanijyam, trade.
वाणिज्यम
वाणिज्यम
Vanishyam
ट्रेड
trade
trade.
Vaishya, of a Vaishya.
वैश्य
Foreign
ऑफ ए
trade.
वैश्य
Karma, duty.
कर्म
कर्म
ड्यूटी
duty
Duty.
Swabhavajam,
स्वभावजम
Swabhavajam.
born of his own nature.
born of
born
his
of
Born
own
his
of
nature
own
his own
nature
nature.
Paricharya,
परिचर्या
Paricharya
Paricharya.
service.
सर्विस
service
Service.
Aptakam,
आत्मकम
Atmakam
Atmakam.
consisting of.
कंसिस्टिंग
Consistent
ऑफ
of.
Karma, duty.
कर्म
Karma
ड्यूटी
duty
Karma duty.
Sudrasya,
शूद्रस्य
Sudrasya
Sudrasya.
of the Shudra.
ऑफ द
of the
शूद्र
Of the
Shudra
Shudra.
Api, also.
अपि
Api
ऑल्सो
also.
Swabhavajam,
Swabhavajam
स्वभावजम
Swabhavajam.
born of his own nature.
born
born
of his
of
own
his
nature
own nature
Own nature.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Swami Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Farming,
फार्मिंग
Farming.
cow protection,
cow protection
Protection.
and business
and
and
business
Business.
are the natural work
are
are the
the
natural
Are the
natural
work
work
natural work
for the Vaishyas
for the
for
for
the
the
Vaishyas
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 and for the Sudras.
and for the
and for the
and the
Shudras.
Shudras
Shudras.
There are labor
They
their
are
There are
labor
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 and service to others.
and
and
service to
service to
to
others.
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 Let's all chant together. This doesn't have any purport. Let's all chant together. अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुवैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी शभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः. So thank you so much for joining this wonderful Sangha every Friday at 8 p.m. So we are focusing on the last chapter now, going verse by verse, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is trying to summarize and conclude Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. And today, Lord Krishna is talking about the default characteristics or the traits, swabhava, in terms of nature, the default nature of Vaishyas and Sudras. And in the last verse, Lord Krishna is so very systematically explaining to Arjuna how different things affect modes. We have three modes: mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. And from 19th to 39, Lord Krishna is trying to analyze every trait or attribute with modes beautifully, scientifically. So in 20 to 22, Lord Krishna is speaking about knowledge in the mode of goodness, knowledge and passion, and ignorance. In 23 to 25, Lord Krishna beautifully talking about karma or nature of action in goodness, passion, ignorance. 26 to 28, karta or the doer in goodness, passion, ignorance. 30 to 32, he talks about buddhi or intelligence, goodness, passion, ignorance. 33 to 35, Lord Krishna talks about dhriti, determination in mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. And 36 to 39, Lord Krishna talks about the result of the action, which is happiness in the mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. And then Lord Krishna at the 40th verse is saying that even if everybody is affected, including demigods, Krishna is not affected by the modes. Krishna is Trigunatit. That means he is not affected by the gunas. That Krishna is separate from everybody other than Krishna. That includes devas or demigods and we all species. And then in 41, Krishna talks about distinction between the four varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. And 42, Lord Krishna spoke about the qualities of Brahmana. 43, Lord Krishna spoke about qualities of Kshatriya. And 44 today, Lord Krishna is speaking about qualities of Vaishya and Shudra. So as you can see, Lord Krishna is very systematic, and he could only a supreme person like Krishna can say that in that systematic way. So what he's saying here, the qualities of Vaishya and Shudra is Vaishya's qualities. There are three qualities: Krishi, Goraksha, Vanijyam. Krishi is cultivation or plowing. Goraksha means cow protection. Cow protection is different from cow gazing. We'll talk about it. Vaishya is not a person who takes care of cows, or he cleans the cows, or he washes the cows. Vaishya is someone who protects the cows. We'll go into that a little bit. Vanijam, he's a mercantile or a business function in this entire society created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chaturvarnam Maya Srishtam. Then Sudra is Paricharya. Shudra is service. He is serving everybody else. So with that focus, let's discuss a little bit about this powerful verse and try to understand how we should understand. Yes, Prabhuji has a comment. We'll go into that. So what we are saying, what you're saying is, Krishi Go Raksha Vanijam. So when we think about our body, every body part has a value. The feet has a value. The stomach has a value. The arms has a value. And the head has a value. Without leg, without the feet, the functioning of the body is impossible. Without the stomach, the functioning of the body is impossible. Without the arms, the functioning of the body is very difficult. And without the head, it is impossible. So the social bodies Krishna has created is compared to our body parts. So Shudras are compared with the feet, very important portion of our lifestyle, of our social structure. And the Vaishyas, who are mercantile people, class of society, they are considered to be like stomach. And Kshatriyas, who are protecting, they are considered to be arms. And Brahmanas are considered to be the head. But you should recognize that as you grow old, you realize that if there is a slight knuckle pain or slight tennis elbow, our life goes for a toss. So think about these important parts of the body going for a toss. What happens to your society? Legs are compared, or the feet are compared with Shudras, and stomach is compared with Vaishyas. Hands are compared with Kshatriyas, and heads are compared with. So these are not caste distinction. It is our skill distinction. Janma karma, karma. By your duty, you become a Brahmana. By your duty, you become a Kshatriya. Not through the process of the caste system. So Go Raksha, as it is mentioned, is cow protection. So when Srila Prabhupada hear other people translating that as cattle rearing, he doesn't like it. He wants Go Raksha. What is Go Raksha? Go means cow, Raksha means protection. But see, protecting cows is different from gazing cows or rearing cows. What do you mean by protection? The cows should be protected all of their life. After they stop giving milk, they should not be sent to slaughterhouse. So Go Raksha is done by who? Vaishyas. And what they should do? They are not gazing cows or rearing cows. They are protecting cows. So that's the reason why Srila Prabhupada emphasized the importance of so many farm communities, where in our farm community, we do not send the cows or bull after the age or after they stop giving processing for our society. We don't send them to slaughterhouse. That's the reason why United States, Gita Nagari is the first cruel-free creamery in the United States in Port Royal, Pennsylvania, because the fundamental principle of a mercantile class is to protect cows and not to send them to slaughterhouse where they are not protected. And also, any financial investment, if it's not giving good return, it is natural to abandon the investment. But we should not look at profit in everything. there is an aspect of dharma. The dharmat rakshati rakshata. That means if you protect dharma, dharma will protect you. If we don't protect dharma, dharma will never protect us. So just because the cow who, after a lot of difficulty, gives birth to calf and then start giving more milk to the calf, and then the remnant is all used for us. They are like our mother. They are like our go mata. Their urine is used for treating many medication, and the faces are fertilization to the ground. So we cannot leave cows, who is our mother, and the first liquid a kid eats after he or she becomes little older is the cow milk. And now with so many chemicals, which is the processed, people are becoming people are getting a habit of lactose intolerant, where they cannot even digest the basics of milk, because we have made our system so unnatural by becoming acclimatized to other things, so that the true essence of growing with milk, which in our all childhood we all were growing with milk, has been tarnished with this. So a big society, a true society, and a powerful society always protects cows. And that's the reason why Goraksha, Krishi, and Vanijya are the three traits, which is very beautifully explained in this 44th verse. And and when they cultivate, when they and nowadays you see the cows who are supposed to be vegetarian, but in order to produce, give them huge structure and give them uh, the the food intake given to them are not regulated. They are often consuming irregulation in the food habits. And as Prabhuji mentioned in the chat, that Srila Prabhupada mentions, we all are Shudras because we are mostly consulting. We are service providers. We are system integrators or service providers. By definition, service providers are Shudras. So, as Srila Prabhupada mentions, we are all service providers. We are working for a company, but providing service to our client. So we are basically service providers. And that's where Krishna writes, Paricharyatmakam karma. That means we are serving others all the time. And in serving others, we are basically service providers. We all are Shudras. This entire generation is and as privatization is more and more and more, we are providing service to everybody. Everything is a service provider. Now we are hearing, there are a lot of fundamental cuts in the government departments, and everybody is a service provider. So we have to transcend our modes so that we become upholder of dharma, upholder of Gomata. And as all the ISKCON main temples of ISKCON, whether it's Vrindavan or Gita Nagari or New Vrindavan, the cultivation and simple living, high thinking, and Goraksha, protecting cows, is recommended. And that's the fundamental principle for all of us as to how to share or rather protect this beautiful, Gomata, who is so dear to Krishna. And Krishna loves cows. Krishna used to go with thousands of cows to gaze, and the and once Krishna became so dear that he asked Mother Yashoda that instead of making two feet shoes for me, you need to make shoes for all the cows. When Krishna mentioned this to Yashodamai, the cows were hearing the kindness, the empathy Krishna has for cows, and they started crying, and there are tears of gratitude. Cows have uh, and when Krishna used to go gazing, the cows have a nice way of interacting and paving the way for Krishna, wherein they would just basically wherever there is any thorns and all, cows will clear it up. So there is this loving exchange Krishna had with, and if you technically look at it, he was born as a Gwala who is of Vaishya profession. So very dear to Krishna. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead can take any form, anywhere. He can choose to reveal himself any way he wants. And the qualities of Vaishyas and Sudras are equally important of Brahmanas and Kshatriyas in the society to all function. The importance of father and mother are uniquely important. Without a father, the kid has difficulty growing. Without a mother, kid has difficulty growing. So for a well-rounded society, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, and Shudras had to coexist. And this coexistence was there in the old days. And because of this symphony, because of the coherence, the society was growing and beautifully everyone was well placed. And finally, when everybody started measuring the importance of a varna by the amount of money you make, everybody started going out. And that's the reason why in many different places in dhams where the service is through a ancestry, those people, they never leave those dhams in Jagannath Puri or Dwarka, where the service is associated, is given to a family or a family of descendants, they never leave. They know that their friends are leaving for America to gain dollars, but they never leave because the principle of the Varna has to be upheld. And there are still people, there are still Pandas, there are still Brahmanas who do not leave uh, because for them the service to the Lord is very important, and the ability to protect the four varnas and uphold the four varnas, as Krishna is so beautifully talking about, is important for a coexistence of the society. Otherwise, there is, if Brahmana becomes a Kshatriya and Kshatriya becomes a Brahmana, or Kshatriya becomes a Shudra, and a Shudra tries to become a Vaishya, they don't have the right frame of mindset, the nature, as Krishna mentions. There is an inherent nature, there is an inherent way a person grows up. And if we align their strengths to what they are capable of and use them for society's service, then they will be um, productive and the society will grow. So there is a reason why there are different qualities needed for different growth of society, and Krishna is beautifully explaining those qualities for the coexistence of the social structure. And with that, like to end here. Want to hear your points. This is Bhagavad Gita discussion. So when we discuss, we understand from each other's perspective. So with that, like to end here. Want to hear all your comments and reflections on this beautiful subject matter of the qualities of the mercantile and the service class of society, or anything around that. It'll be a good discussion for the next 20 minutes. With that, thank you so much for your attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any comments? Any reflections?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranamam, Guru Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, one thing I wanted to add here is farming. That's why we have farm communities, Prabhuji. So farming is, so of course, self-sustenance is the governing principle. Mm, we should be associated with the nature, Prabhuji. So farming is the way that we will be associated with the nature, with the soil, with the earth, with the winds, water. So that is why we have to definitely have some growing aspect in our spiritual as well as in our regular life, Prabhuji. That is one of, that's why I think Prabhupada has um, included farming like in New Vrindavan and Port Royal in all these places. So that is we have to practice, we have to transcend that, that we are brahmanas or whatever we are doing service in the temple. We may have to go above and beyond those. One of, we may be a brahmana, but we also should be a kshatriya if needed, and a shudra as always needed, and vaishya by doing this farming and go raksha. That is why Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj has started this D-Land project. He wanted to save the Goraksha, which you have mentioned, Prabhuji. The D-Land project's main purpose was that only. Of course, it's a well-rounded purpose that he wanted to have Ayurvedic center, then yoga and then retreat center, of course, all of those. But the main focus was to get all the cows which are abandoned and take care of them, Prabhuji. So I wanted to mention that this that, and of course, farming, some amount of farmings for self-sustenance and freshness of the vegetables and connecting with the earth. That should be
Yeah,
our principles, Prabhuji.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Thank you, Prabhuji.
when we all talk about cows, right? Um, Cows have done so much to us. They give us milk by which we have grown up. And but uh, uh, at the time of when they are when we grew up, they were there for us. But when they stopped growing and they become old, and this attitude of using you run a business, and then a time comes you have so many people who are working for you, and for some reason the business, the attitude of curbing or trying to close it, and trying to be opportunist is sometimes inhuman and cruel. Likewise, when you mistreat cows who are old and send it to the slaughterhouse, it's very cruel. See, these actions, what and principles, what Krishna has mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, is a tenet for our for self-sustaining, as Prabhuji mentioned, and also for equal growth and coherent growth, so that the society can grow together. And this tenet of compassion goes a long way in in maintaining the society. By being cruel, we inculcate thus, and Krishna mentions yadyad acharati srishta. That means if you inculcate any of these so-called bad qualities, then it affects the society in a way. So the design by principle by Krishna is to self-sustain, stay in coherence, grow, and have all the fundamental virtues like compassion, shun cruelty. So these are all meant with a lot of things in perspective. And Krishna's design, as some Prabhuji mentions, that we are spirit souls. We live in a spiritual planet which is absolutely creating, uh, created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But if we find material solutions to a spiritual problem, we all are in. That's why our solutions don't work. So I think we have to look at this verse in a very as like a devotee, as to what is Krishna's plan in showcasing all these departments, all these different strengths, different activities. So once we understand that, we understand the master plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Any other comments? Thank you, everyone, for joining. I think we should maintain the tempo. We all used to join regularly, but there is this winter, spring, and activities and all. But now, hopefully, we all can join so that we can all discuss the glories of Bhagavad Gita with the devotees. Any other question, comments, Prabhu, you want to speak about? You want to bring up?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
One more point I want to tell Prabhuji. Krishna emphatically mentions Go Brahmanaya. So go Raksha is one of the fundamental features. Go and Brahmans, as you told Prabhuji, to run the society. These are the two most important. One is the strategy given by the Brahmanas, and one is the tactical, what we call, right? The tactical part is by the cows used to help our economy in all the way, Prabhuji, like for the bulls in transportation, the cows in the milk, and the all the aspects of the cows, basically the cow dung, the cow urine, all these are basically for our day-to-day living. Krishna has provided us the milk, of course, definitely milk and milk products. As Prabhupada has clearly mentioned, milk is needed for developing our tissues in the brain, to understand basically the balance, the ecological balance, along with the spirituality, but also with the ecological balance. We have to understand, which you have mentioned, that we have to grow together. We should not say that we are part of the food chain, what generally the non-vegetarian people describe, who are supporters of non-vegetarian consumers. They describe that it's a part of food chain. Otherwise, there will be too many chicken and too many goats. So that is not. So we have to grow along with them. That's why go Brahmana Hitacha. So that also is very important, Prabhuji, that how cow is the most important. Now since we have a motor car and all other amenities, we are underestimating the go part of that, and of course Brahmana part also we are underestimating, because we are Shūdras and we are trying to think we all are independent.
Right, Prabhu. And as Prabhuji mentioned, that whenever we do our bhoga, this mantra, what Prabhuji was alluding to, Namo Brahmana Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha, Jagad Hitaya Krishnaya, Govindaya Namo Namo. So when you are basically offering something, it's bhoga to be enjoyed, and after 10 minutes of offering, when you take it out, it becomes prasad or remnant, right? So this is a mantra you all can utter when you offer, which Prabhuji was mentioning, that let me offer my respectful obeisance unto Lord Krishna, who is the worshipable deity for all Brahmanical men and who is the well-wisher of cows and Brahmana. Go Brahmana Hitayaja. Okay? And who is always benefiting the whole world. I offer my repeated obeisance to the personality of Godhead known as Krishna and Govinda. So this is a bhoga mantra we all use. This is because Krishna is the worshipable deity form who represents, the Brahmanas, and is the well-wisher of cows and Brahmanas, and that's why as Krishna is very dear to them, we should to him we offer. So if you please a cow, if you please a Brahmana in that sense, Krishna will be pleased. And likewise, if we all do our due diligence and do duty with the principles laid out by Bhagavad Gita, Krishna will be very pleased. And our love for Krishna will increase. Our love for Krishna will increase, provided we end up doing things what Krishna likes. What does Krishna likes? Krishna likes cows. If your love for cows increases, Krishna will like us. It's very simple in that sense. So grow your compassion and contribution or help to go Brahmana. And as long as we fulfill all the varnas, due diligence, the work the varnas are made of, then Krishna will be very pleased. And that's essentially what bhakti is all about, right? Doing our duty, not to do somebody else's duty, not to grab somebody else's power and try to do the service which is not assigned to us. Okay. Any other comments? Any reflections? So, Anuradha Mataji, Rahul Prabhu, thank you for joining after a long time. Niranjan Prabhu as well. Anuradha Mataji, you are from Toronto. How is the situation? Is it the cold receded or still cold?
First of all, sorry for joining the class late, Prabhuji. Here it is cold only, Prabhuji. It is actually worst side of cold, but we are hoping to see that March 20th to have a better weather, like around 26 suddenly. It'll go back again and again. I think May it will start. April end it should start basically to have a better weather where you can wear just the fall jacket or just jacket and step out. Otherwise, normal trade wars are going here and there. That's all is going. Entertainment for now. Yeah. How's everything there, Prabhu?
It's okay. The Gaur Purnima is coming this Thursday, so a lot of planning going on. You have attended Gaur Purnima, you have taken vows before, so please reinvigorate your chanting power, because Gaur Purnima is a time when we step back and take a revow. We take a promise that we will chant properly. So it's a big day for all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas like us and all of you. So serve during Gaur Purnima wherever you are in the local temple, and I'm sure Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will give you that love for Harinam. Most of the time, our taste for the name of Hari has dwindled because of so many interference, right? So more and more we sort of recharge ourselves, rekindle our hope for the love for Godhead. We will progress in bhakti. So the name should be very dear to us, and we should never leave the name in our life. So chant and increase your taste for chanting as much as possible
Sure,
during Gaur
Prabhuji.
Purnima.
Sure, Prabhuji. I need your blessings. Yeah.
No,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's blessings we all need during Thursday. That's his appearance day. So please celebrate in a big way. And is there anything else we should be discussing or any announcements? So if there is
Tomorrow
not,
here
let's.
Amarendra Prabhu is coming, Prabhuji.
Yes, the Saturday, 2 days after Gaur Purnima, we have a 2-hour lecture by His Grace Amarendra Prabhu, and the next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Ral Govind Prabhu is coming. He is going to give Ram Katha, beautiful Ram Katha on 3 days next weekend. So Gaur Purnima, Amarendra Prabhu, Lal Govind Prabhu program lined up. It's all in the ISKCON of Central New Jersey Facebook page. So please attend, bring bhoga for the Lord on Gaur Purnima. Tell your friends to bring bhoga and celebrate it in a big way. So let's offer obeisances the lotus feet of all Vaishnavas by saying Vancha Kalpataru Vascha कृपा सिंधुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो। वैष्णववृंद की जय।
जय।
भगवद गीता की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की
की जय।
गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि।
हरि हरि।
हरि हरि बोल।
जगन्नाथ प्रभु की जय।